With San Mateo County, where deputies are on the scene of those two separate shootings with multiple victims, both of those shooting locations in Half Moon Bay.
And in just the past 15 minutes, our chopper spotted a man being taken into custody at the Half Moon Bay Sheriff's Substation. A law enforcement source tells us that suspect drove himself there, and deputies found him in the parking lot.
Here's a look from our camera on the ground right now. This is the different view of that suspect being taken into custody. You can see he has a red shirt and a vest. Looks like it is some kind of fleece, and a tan or white colored hat. But obviously in cuffs right now. He was taken through these gates and then taken inside the substation. We're told that substations where officials will be briefing the media at some point. As soon as that happens, we will bring it to you live.
Again, we're looking at two different shooting scenes here. Unclear if they're related quite yet. That's still information we're working on. One is at a trucking supply company along Highway 1. The other is at the Mountain Mushroom Farm along Highway 92 in the Spanish Town area. Our Len Ramirez arrived on scene there in just the last 30 minutes. Len, quite the last 30 minutes we've just witnessed that you saw firsthand. What can you tell us? What's happening there now?
Well, right now there are still dozens of law enforcement officials, San Mateo County Sheriff's units and investigators. More are arriving all the time, as well as traffic on Highway 92. So it's quite a scene here with a lot of commotion and a lot of traffic as well. You can see that the investigators and other personnel from an ambulance company and forensic teams are here. They have focused their attention on an area behind the blinking lights there, pretty far up the hill there. You can see some of the white shed buildings. That is apparently where a lot of the attention is focused right now. When we arrived here, things were relatively calm for the situation involved, and officers were walking around and talking to people, things like that. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they started running, jumping into their cars and taking off as quickly as possible, literally tearing out of here to get onto Highway 92 and to get to the sheriff's substation, which is just about half a mile away from here. When that happened, the suspect was apparently driving around and then decided to turn himself into the sheriff's office substation there in Half Moon Bay, and that's where all of the officers were headed out. So a very remarkable situation right now to have witnessed a scene go from relative calm to panicky and urgent by the enforcement officers taking off and getting out of here. But we now know that the suspect was turning himself in, and it was a situation that they were trying to get to make sure that they had as many law enforcement people around that area, just in case this was some sort of diversionary tactic, and things could obviously go bad quickly. Now here come a few more lights and sirens into the area. We're just going to kind of see what's going on here. Looks like unmarked as well as marked units and a SWAT team member just getting out. That is apparently, I would venture to guess at this point, don't want to guess too much, but that would have the earmarks of the suspect being taken to headquarters. He was accompanied by a SWAT team member who is in fact in the car right behind us. You heard the honking of the horn right there. That was one of the SWAT officers who's pulling out. Vince, he's right behind you right now, so please just be careful as they take off. But and he's going lights and sirens as well. So I would say that they probably had that suspect in one of the vehicles that we were trying to show you just now, taking him back over the hill to the sheriff's department and to obviously a jail situation in the city of Redwood City, where the headquarters are. So just another remarkable situation here happening live as we're describing it for you. Back to you.
Yeah, it's unnerving to hear those sirens, Len. It made you curious. Gosh, is there another thing unfolding now? But it looks, from what you could see, it's hard for us to see, but from what you can see, it looks like that was probably the suspect being taken to a bigger sheriff's station, though, you think?
Exactly. We don't want to, get ahead of ourselves here with the information, but based on what I've seen of situations like that, that's exactly how it looks when they've got a suspect in custody. They've got maybe 4 or 5 other cars around him just in case, something happens and there's some sort of an ambush situation. They have SWAT team members with that vehicle as they're taking him to the headquarters. So it apparently has wrapped up at the location of the substation, is now going downtown.